company will pay for it, which is nice. And there's usually always a handful of those left over at places like this nowadays, apparently. Or at least in the areas I'm going. When I was going to Ohio and stuff, man, I couldn't find a spot that had anything left over that saved my life. Oh, damn, it's gonna be another one of those days. Coffee just ain't doing it this morning. No, today I'm drinking coffee more for just to give me that little bit of warm feeling in the inside, considering it's chilly. Luckily, no rain, no precipitation. There was talk of fog on the radio for the area, but I guess it's lifted by now since the suns came out. Hey, there's a nice little Ranger. I'm betting it's only two-wheel drive because of how low it's sitting. My Ranger sits a little higher than that, and it's four-wheel drive. There we go, there's a topic I can bitch and moan about. Why is it that there is no aftermarket support for fucking Rangers? Like, come on, people. There are just as many Ford Rangers out there, especially the four-wheel drive kind, as there are big F-150s and shit. Why isn't there any support for them? Because most of the ones that I found for mine, they're either universals that cost 2 times more, almost double of what everything else costs because it is universal, or it's got to be a custom, and it's the same thing with the price. So, like, unless you want to go in and you want to buy shit with a credit card or a fucking loan and drop 10 grand and just bumpers and shit, like, there ain't shit for Rangers. And it's like, come on, they're the perfect little off-road truck. They're lightweight, long wheelbase. If you get the 4.0s, they got the power. As long as you don't put too big of tires on them. Perfect little go hit back roads, maybe little mud puddles. They're light, so you don't need a super big winch, or you don't need a damn off-road tow truck to get you out of a hole. If you do get a spot where you're stuck, hell, you can get out with a damn come-along because of how light the damn trucks are. Especially if you've got the 9-inch rear end. That's what most people want. They want that 9-inch. Or no, it's an 8-inch. I think of the Rangers, the big one's 8-inch. 8.5. The four-wheel drive's pretty okay. It's finicky considering it's electric controlled with the vacuum lines for the front hubs. But hey, that's better than having to get out tires rolling. is nice that the fact that the Rangers have the divorce transfer case. So if your transfer case or transmission goes out, you can just replace it. You don't got to get the whole damn transmission transfer case combo. That was a bad idea in my opinion. A lot of newer trucks go that way, so there's less casting. But I'm like, well, fuck, if your transmission loses a gear, but your transfer case is fine. It's cheaper to buy a new transmission than to just rebuild the transmission. But anyway, like in the area where I live, I use back roads all the time to get from one side of the county to the other, especially at night. I don't know how many deer I see, and I'm like, well, fuck, I just get me a bumper or a brush guard. Hell, brush guards are still $500. Like, I get, you gotta pay for labor and supplies. But damn, it's just some bent tubing. It's ridiculous how hard it is to get shit for Rangers. You can get more for fucking Chevy S10s than you can get for damn Rangers. Though I have found out that if you can find the same year Explorer, it's the same parts. Like you can put Explorer seats into a Ranger as long as it's the extended cab. Yeah, the extended cab trucks will take the Explorer captain chairs. If you want to get finicky, the two doors, I think, can take the center console from an Explorer. You just got to make it work with the dash. All kinds of cool little shit like that if you can find it on an Explorer. Hell, the bezels. The bezels on Explorers are the same. So if you ever need a bezel for a Ranger, you just got to find their same year Ranger or Explorer, and you can use the bezel for the radio and stuff. Come on, dump trailer. You guys are usually the owner-operators with no speed limit. What the fuck? Come on. These hotshot drivers. On the damn phone. like the fancy ones either. Like, you want to get the factory replacement ones, it's like $300. It's like $400 if you go for the LEDs. It's crazy. But the only place you can really find anything is like Car ID. Car ID is about the only place that you can find anything really that I've looked up and been able to find. The only bumpers I found that weren't $1,000 or so almost were that there's a brand or a dude makes it out of like his welding shop. They're called affordable bumper or whatever. They make Jeep bumpers and stuff, but they make some Ranger and Bronco 2 stuff. What's surprising, a lot of Bronco 2 stuff will fit on like 90s Rangers, and if you make it work, it'll fit on the early 2000 ones. so I tell you how early I had to get up. But I got off at like 3 or 4, something like that. I was really relaxed. Just basically working with a bunch of guys, washing cars, music playing. Really wasn't anybody chewing your ass out and micromanaging you as long as you didn't fuck off too much. But it was a steady medium pace. Cars come in one end of the garage, wash, and as they come through, little by little, the building was like 2 or 3 football fields long and about a football field wide. You brought the cars in along the width side, or the length side, to drive the width of the building. I got to drive some fun cars. I almost got to drive a Viper. That would have been nice. Convertible, red Viper with black top. It was pretty. It was manual. Dude driving it stalled it at the auction block and the battery was dead, so he couldn't start it back up and just be like, hey, I'm not used to driving a stick. That car didn't sell. I worked there about a month before I went to Macy's. Just got to the point where that hour drive that early in the morning just got to me. Of course, at the time I was driving my Mazda I had gotten, which is basically the Ranger variant. Didn't have a radio. The heat was stuck full blast. That was a fun little truck. I hate that I traded it. But I didn't need new trucks. I didn't need 2 trucks and I didn't need 2 cars. But that truck, that was the one. Oh, damn it. That was the one I did a lot of stuff in. I really learned to drive my 5-speed in that truck. Learned changing suspension, learned changing axles. Yeah, that was a fun time. Oh, learned the wonders of manual transmissions for when brakes go out or start to fail. I was hauling some stuff from my sister when she was moving, and I had a loaded down 10-foot trailer and a bed. And my brakes started going soft on me. Luckily, I wasn't going down a hill or anything. If anything, I was going up hills. Pulled over at a gas station, found out that my brake line on my front driver's side tire had burst. So I had brakes, but not for long. And that manual transmission saved me. As hell, as heavy as I was, it slowed me down. You gotta love these a-holes that jump in the left lane to pass because they're impatient. something if I hit a back road and I just want to play around a little bit or do a little bit of beginner rock crawling, where you're like driving up creek beds, dry creek beds, or just taking some less traveled paths. That's what I want to do. It already sits pretty high because it's on 16s. The rear end sits about 2 inches taller than it's supposed to because the guy I bought it from stuck 2 leaves from a 1-ton in it. So that thing doesn't squat at all. Done the shocks all the way around on it. Just OEM replacements. Well, OEM style replacements. They're not factory rocks. I think they were QBIs. I think they were QBI shocks. So they had the better rebound and smoother ride quality. A little bit longer travel than their factory. Oh, we got another left lane warrior. Governed at 69 and the speed limit's 75. Back to what I was saying. Nothing fancy, just probably a beefier bumper for the front end so I can put a winch on it if nothing else, or just something I don't got to worry about the radiator getting taken out. Maybe one on the rear so I got a better toe point or anchor point or whatever. The receiver hitch on the truck already does a lot of that, but I don't like those factory chrome-plated bumpers. That, and I want to put some flush mount pod lights on the rear for backing up, because good lord, that's one thing that was horrendous in that truck. Backing up at night, you can't see squat. Even with the backup camera. want to do what Chris Fix did with his Mazda, because he's got the Mazda variant of what I have. There again goes the issue of having a spot to work on things. And then having the time, and then having the money. Dilemma. I have a toolbox in the bed of my truck full of tools. All of my tools are in a toolbox in the bed of my truck. But it's like a bedside toolbox. Like it sits across the bed, so it is sitting on top of the rails. Wrangler I want and just do everything to the Wrangler, considering bolt-on stuff is in abundance for Wranglers, but you're paying a little bit of a premium because of the popularity. But then you're also getting the quote-unquote pedigree for off-roading that Wranglers have. But good Lord, the last 2 years, the price of old Wranglers has shot up. Hell, back you could get a